Outside the Empire, thousands of Londoners crowding the approaches to see the royal family and also the many film stars and notabilities attending the Royal Command film performance. It must have been obvious that unprecedented interest would be aroused by this unique event, and many very frank criticisms have been made of the almost chaotic conditions that prevailed in Leicester Square. The picture certainly gives a good idea of what went on as police worked hard to keep a lane clear for the cars to drive up. Police horses, by the way, evidently behaved with great patience. So great was the throng that the arrival of the royal family was delayed, and when they did reach their objective, there was barely room for them to make their way through the crowd into the cinema. With his wife, Mr. Reginald Brumhead, President of the Cinema Trade Benevolent Fund, received their Majesties. Among those presented were Mr. Rank, his wife, Colonel Brumhead, Mr. and Mrs. Sam Ekman. Bouquets were presented to the Queen and the Princesses by Margaret Lockwood's daughter, Juliet, by Vanessa, Mr. and Mrs. Redgrave's daughter, and Mr. and Mrs. John Mill's daughter, Juliet. The performance was in aid of the aged and infirm of the cinema trade, and over £30,000 were raised. After the showing of the film, personal appearances were made by the stars. Many of them were now about to be presented. The camera made a note of Kim Hunter, star of the picture, Vivian Leigh and Laurence Olivier, Bessie Love, Stuart Granger, Maria Montez, and Sid Field. Then the King and Queen entered the room and the presentations were made. Joan Bennett, Walter Wanger, Diana Wynyard and Anthony Kimmins, Pat O'Brien, Sally Gray, Rosamund John, Valerie Hobson and Vivian Leigh. Bessie Love being presented, John Mills and beyond him Deborah Carr, Rafe Richardson, Will Hay, Bud Flanagan, Jean Kent. The Prime Minister and his daughter were present. Mr. Attlee paused to have a word with Mr. Rank. There's William Ith with Dorothy Malone. Margaret Lockwood and the President of the KRS, Major Reginald Baker. Michael Redgrave, Vanessa, John Mills. Mr. Otto Bowley of 20th Century with Sir Gordon Craig, Chairman of the Newsreel Association. Ray Milland and his wife, also with his wife, Mr. Fred Pryor, President of the CEA. Patricia Rock, Reginald Gardner and Joan Bennett. Michael Powell, one of the two producers of the film, on the stairway. Yes, it certainly was an occasion, an evening that will never be forgotten by any of the guests at this, the first Royal Command film performance. This is Movietone.